Welcome to the StormCast. We're live and locked in on YouTube, Twitter, Rumble, bringing you the latest and greatest news, stories, and conversations from around the world. Today is Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025, and it's already 83 degrees outside here in South Carolina. Spring's here and it's heating up fast. And so, this episode, before we get into it, guys, it's going to be a great episode. I just want to give you some quick updates. This is actually attempt number 3 at this episode. So if we lag or glitch, I just need y'all in the chat to let me know. Be patient, and we'll do a quick reset, and we'll be right back at it. We got a new video dropping this Friday, so stay tuned and don't miss it. Go ahead and hit your notification bell and subscribe because it's going to be a banger. Alrighty, folks. Today is not just another episode. I've got a guest here whose content I've enjoyed for a while now. I've been following him, his story, and everything else on social media for a while. I would say we're similar in that we share the same niche content-wise, and I'm really excited to be sitting down here today and finally talking with him. Now introducing Mr. Ricky Mercado. How you doing, Ricky?
Hey, what's up, man? Nice to finally meet you for sure, dude. And likewise, man, I've been a fan of your content for a while too.
Yeah, bro. We pretty much make pretty much the same type of content. So it's cool to bring our audiences here together. You could probably use this for content to clip it or whatever for your channel. You want to introduce
Sure.
yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Ricky. I'm 30 years old. I just turned 30 this year. I work at Verizon. I was in a car accident 8 years ago, back in 2017. I was in a drinking and driving car accident. I was 21 at the time, so it was a pretty tough age to get injured. But, like we do when we're strong, we persevere through anything, if you have a good mindset. But yeah, that's a little bit about myself.
Okay, so take me back to that moment when you were 21. What do you feel like changed?
Compared to like mindset, the way I think now, or like just in
Yeah,
general.
what did you realize? Like, did you become a different person, or do you feel like you've become a better person, or?
Yeah, most definitely. The first thing I realize is like, when something like this happens in your life, you realize who your real ones are, who your true friends are, and that makes you realize who your real people are. And that's one thing I learned. It made me a better person for sure. This injury made me a positive person overall. I've always been a positive person, but this injury really made me, like bring it out because you know how it is. You if you get lost in this injury, you can get down in the dumps and lose yourself real quick. So,
Mhm.
you always got to stay positive. Yeah. And I feel like I've grown mentally, like I gotta, before I used to work on a farm, I always used to do hard labor work, so it was always easy, find a job, get paid good money. Now you actually need to like, you know, use your brain and think on like how you can make yourself profitable, make yourself money, and stay sustainable. So it's, it
Yeah,
really, it really got
yeah.
me thinking.
Oh no, yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, I agree. Like doing things now is way different, job wise, and finding ways to like, keep pushing. Finding those things that work for you is, definitely a challenge post injury. Um, what's something that you do now that you never thought you'd care about or do before?
So something now, dude, like, oh man, I'm sure you've been there, first freshly injured, like I said, I've always had a positive attitude, but I've had my moments, and like um now something now that I think that I never thought what about this injury would be actually like working. I actually
Mhm.
work I have a full-time job here at Verizon. That's one thing I never thought I'd actually do right now. I'm in the process of, still driving. So I'll be driving soon. You know,
Nice.
one thing I thought was like I was never gonna have a life again, because you need help, getting ready for the day. But you can have a full life, being in a wheelchair. It doesn't all end there. You may feel like it, but there's a lot. you could still do with your life. You could still live a full life.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I forgot to ask you, what's your exact injury level?
I'm a C5, 6, and 7 incomplete quad.
Okay, cool. Yeah, see, I'm 4'5", so that means you're a little bit what lower, a little bit lower on the spinal cord than me. So you
Yeah,
probably have a little bit more function, like doing things to be more independent. I'm sure you can like pick things up, use your wrists maybe
right. Yeah,
around that level.
Tinadesis.
Yep, yep. So I'm sure
Yeah.
that helps you out a lot working and driving and stuff like that.
Oh, it really does, man. And that's what I'm thankful for too. Every injury is different. Each of our injuries is unique. So um, it could have been a lot worse. But I'm just happy I could still do the things that I do and still be able to function and still like feed myself, things like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It could have been a lot worse for anybody in the situation.
Exactly, man.
People often assume that our injury or injury like ours, desires for relationships, intimacy, and pleasure and things like that just vanish. What's been your experience navigating uh, relationships and intimacy and relation and things like that after your injury?
Yeah. So the beginning of my injury, like if you're a positive person overall, you have a good attitude, you know how to talk to girls, like it's not going to be a problem even with the wheelchair. But if you lack confidence, there's going to be an issue. You got to have confidence when it comes to, dating and being in relationships and things like that. So that's number one, before you even think about it, make sure you're confident in yourself, make sure you love yourself and just bring that confidence. But right now, I'm currently engaged right now.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so
Congrats.
um yeah, thanks man, I appreciate it. We've been together for 2 years already going on. And you just know when they're the one. So I'm just glad I found my one, and I have two stepdaughters too, so got my little family and they make me happy. And like I said, what got me that was the confidence, not being scared to, approach women or talk to girls. The thing with me and my fiance is we've known each other for quite some time. We've known each other since we were 19 years old. So, yeah, so like I'm 30 now. So, but yeah, that's the number one thing and number one thing I can give for advice in relationships, dating, anything like that is confidence is key.
Confident. I agree. Yeah, you got to be confident, especially with the wheelchair. You got to be even more confident. So we talked a little bit about you working at Verizon. How has your perspective on wealth and financial goals evolved? Like, are you still chasing the bag, the hustle, or how has your definition of success changed?
You already know, like me, I would consider myself an entrepreneur, like yourself, you have all these different avenues. Like me, I have this as a full-time job, but like on the side, I like to do my YouTube, I like to, sell paintings. I do like clothing. I want to start my clothing brand. So it's all about, putting your mind on what you love and what you want to do.
Yeah, for sure. I did see you were into music as well, and that you make music. Do you think this helps you like with like life now?
Yeah, dude. So like music helps me a lot. Like I would say before I got my job, like you need to figure out what you gotta do. You gotta figure out what you're gonna do with your day, because I know for sure. Like that's exactly why I started my YouTube channel. Was like I felt like I wasn't doing anything with my day. So that's why I had to be more creative, and that's why I started vlogging and painting and doing music. But yeah, music really helps me out a lot. It just gets me, it makes makes you pass time. It makes you get things off your chest.
Yeah, for sure. Are there any like artists or influencers that you feel uh, resonate with you? Maybe
Oh man, there's this one artist. I forget his name. It's hard to say, but I think it's TX3. I think you're familiar with him. Do you follow him on Instagram?
TX3.
I think it's TX3.
Nah, I don't think I know who that is.
Well, I'll have to send you his profile. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with him. I think I'm just saying it wrong, but yeah, he does a lot of music. He's really doing a lot of gospel music, which inspires me too, because I have, a lot of faith in uh our Lord. So.
Okay. Do you think that, I don't know, music has a significant impact on like your motivation, your comfort in life, and your journey post injury?
Oh yeah, most definitely, dude. Like music can change your whole mood. So like if you're positive with it, you listen to good music. Music can bring you down as well. So I feel like I got off track. What was the question again?
Oh no, we're just talking about music and how it makes you feel and like how it shaped your experience. Like,
Oh yeah. I don't know, man. I just feel I before my injury, I used to dance. I used to love to dance, man. I've been thinking about posting some on my YouTube channel, but that's the old days. But yeah, music have always helped me, express myself for sure.
okay, switching topics here a little bit. I see you. You're still out there, you're grinding, and you every video you have, you always have something a little bit inspirational or motivational to give to the audience. Do you still feel like you have that fight instinct in you, like mentally or even spiritually?
Oh yeah, dude, most definitely. You see, that's my number one thing with my YouTube channel is I started it, um, like to motivate, because I remember when I first got in my wheelchair, um, I went to YouTube. I started looking up a lot of. I didn't know what a quadriplegic was. I didn't know what my life was gonna be like, and I didn't really see a lot of people living life until I actually found. I don't know if you know who Roll with Cole and Charisma is,
Oh
but
yeah,
like they literally like made me realize that I could literally have a whole life.
yeah,
They really motivated me to like be positive and to even start my YouTube channel. Like there should be a lot more, I think, quadriplegic people with disabilities that have their own YouTube channel to spread awareness because a lot of people have the wrong idea with just being in a wheelchair. Everyone thinks it's just like you can't walk, when
yeah,
it's in reality, it's not just that.
yeah. How do you feel about the way our government handles people like us?
Man, dude, so like I can't, to be honest, I was living off disability, you know what I mean? And you know, you can't like if you have like Section 8 and like have help with housing and shit and stuff like that, I could see it being sustainable, but like I don't think I could fully live off of like disability. I mean, they do give me my wheelchair. The Medicaid is amazing, so I would say they take really good care of me right now. You know what I mean?
Okay, cool. All right, that's good. What do you think about AI and stuff like that coming out? Are you intrigued by it?
Man, dude, AI is crazy, dude. Like you can do literally anything with that. I feel like it's really trippy. It's crazy. I like to use it, and it's really knowledgeable. You can learn a lot of things and ask it a lot of questions, learn a lot of things. But also, the crazy thing from that is like the deep fake videos, just like everything AI is just like, I feel like it's crazy, and I feel like it's gonna go even further for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, for sure. It's picking up.
Yeah,
Would
dude.
Would you upload your brain into a robot if it meant you could get your full movement back?
Oh man, dude. See, like, I don't think I would go that far. I
Mm.
want to stay in the body that God gave me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so no
So
Neuralink.
it makes me think about the Neuralink too, dude. Like, it's a brain chip, but like, I don't know. I mean, did you do that study they were doing? Did you sign
Uh,
up for it?
well, I had an interview for the Neuralink. You know, the I guess the trials that they're having, but I didn't actually go through with it. I was like, nah, man, that's a lot going on right there. Digging in my head and whatnot. So I just let the guy go before, and you saw it didn't really work that well. He was on the Joe Rogan podcast, I think, and he talked all about it. So I mean, hopefully in the future it gets better. And it could actually help people like us.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that movie I, Robot?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh
I
yeah,
feel like one of these days, man, it's gonna be something like that. For real.
oh
They're
yeah.
already
No,
coming out with the robots.
oh, not for sure, man. There's like in China and in Asia, they have robots in the police force already. So
I believe, dude, that's nuts. It's crazy.
yeah, I think machines are definitely about to take the wheel. Um, you think there's life out there, like maybe aliens?
Um, I don't know, but maybe, but like in the deep sea ocean. I believe in like I said, I believe in God, so I believe in the firmament. I believe that space is the end of the ocean. It's the bottom of the ocean.
Okay. So yeah, layers the firmament, like the Bible explained.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense. Do you feel like this life has meaning, or is it just like a beautiful chaos?
To be honest, I feel like the true meaning of life, dude, like the true real meaning of life, because it's not working 9 to 5, it's not chasing the bag, it's not any of those things. The true meaning of life is finding that connection with God, our creator, and building that relationship and living life the best you can here, you know what I mean? And like not worry, just like it will be like in heaven, because I truly believe in that.
Okay, that makes sense. Do you ever think about reincarnation? Maybe. What do you think about that?
Second lives, I mean, I've heard a lot of crazy stories, man. I mean, I believe God can give you a second life. Yeah, dude, I believe in anything. Yeah, it's possible.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I agree. What's your favorite movie of all time?
That's hard, man. Dang. Let me think on it for like a couple minutes, like a second. Let me see.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I've been doing movie reviews
I've been
recently.
seeing those, dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
like that
man.
Nosferatu. I tried seeing that after your movie review. I couldn't. It's like too I don't know how to too like
Like, was it slow for you? It was slow for
too
me at
slow.
first.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It didn't give all the action that I wanted. Like I don't know. It was kind of disappointing, but
I guess
uh,
my go-to movie is like Happy Gilmore.
okay, classic.
Adam Sandler, dude. Yeah, any Adam Sandler movie I love, dude.
Oh yeah, not for sure. If we're going like classics like that, I would say like Dumb and Dumber or some
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
those feel goods.
Or
Uh,
like Avatar. I really love Avatar. It's a dope movie.
yeah, great movie. You ever see a character in a show or a movie that got it right with disability?
Oh my gosh, yes, but I can't think of the name of it right now.
Yeah, because a lot of movies that I see with when they're trying to replicate the life of a person in a wheelchair, they never get it right. It's just so hard to actually mimic how our lives and how difficult and the things that the monotony of it all.
It really
They
is, man.
yeah, they try, but it's like they can't get it right. Are you watching or playing anything right now?
So right now, I play Clash Royale. Clash
Okay,
Royale, dude. I play that all day. I love that game. Also, I've been really into playing blackjack, which I
okay.
know isn't the healthiest thing. I hate gambling, but yeah, blackjack.
Yeah, I haven't never been into like poker or any card games, but I really want to get into poker.
Yeah, dude. That's what I've been getting into. A lot of those card games for sure. They're fun, man.
Yeah, they can be addicting. You can either go on the deep end and make
I
it big
know,
or
dude.
completely
I
ruin
know.
your life.
For real, I know.
You care about style or swag, or you dress for comfort?
Well, like now, dude, I work every day, so I'm just in work clothes. But like, I love dressing up. I love like I care about style for sure, yeah. And I feel like that's a big part, like you brought up relationships. If you look good and you take good care of yourself, dude, that's gonna help you a lot more too.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of people tend to, neglect their person, how they look but nah, man, you got to continue to take care of yourself and continue to upgrade yourself just as if, this situation never happened. If
Exactly.
you
Like
could,
me, I usually have a haircut, but like I've been slacking lately, so I'm pretty bushy right now. But yeah, always gotta need to have a fresh haircut too, build that
yeah, no,
confidence.
not for sure. If you could travel anywhere, like that was fully accessible trip, where would you go?
I'll probably go to like I want to say like probably Dubai, some exotic like that. Or if like close, like realistically, probably like Vegas or Florida. To be
Okay.
honest.
Have you ever traveled?
I traveled before my injury, like road trips and things like that, but I've never been on a plane ever, and like never been out of the country ever.
Okay. Before your injury, I mean, we talked about God a little bit earlier, bringing going back on that topic. What's your view on life and death now after your injury? As like before your injury, how did you see life and death and God and things like that versus now?
That's a good question, man. Because before my injury, like I've always had a relationship with God. Like I've always believed in God. I've always believed in God. I never had a relationship with Him before my injury. You know what I mean? So like, there's a huge difference with that. Cause like believing in God and having a relationship with Him and having faith in Him is way different. So like before, I didn't even really care about life or death. You know, it really didn't even resonate in my mind that I'll die one day. You know what I mean? I was young and dumb and being reckless, you know? So, and now it's like there has to be something after life. Like this cannot just be it, dude. You know what I mean? There's
Hmm.
eternal life after this. I truly believe in that, you know? And I truly believe in that there's a creator, and I truly believe in God came here to die for us so we can have eternal life. You know what I mean? So like I feel like that's the true meaning, and like I'm ready to die. You know what I mean? I know like my life wasn't. We've all done our mistakes. We've all done our things. You know what I mean? But like I'm I'm okay with dying. You know what I mean? I'm not scared of death at all.
Yeah. What's a lesson that this injury has taught you, like that you would never give up or trade, even if you could never walk again?
Love your family while you can,
Do
really, because those are the really real ones who really truly love you.
Yeah, those are really the only ones that are actually there for you, at the end of the day, most times, especially when a situation like this happens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. I had some stuff here. So what are some hobbies and interests besides Clash Royale that you get into these days?
Um, like I said, I really like to paint. You know what I mean? I like to paint. I like you like drawing a lot, like on my iPad with Procreate, designing things. Um, Before I even started YouTube or anything like that, I used to design like a lot of logos and put them on hoodies and clothes. So like I think like that's one thing that I'm really like would be passionate about if I put my full time in it. Would probably be designing and making clothes. Or like
Okay.
YouTube. Like I really want to put my full time in YouTube, you know what I mean? I really worked really hard to get monetized on YouTube, which it was a grind, you know? It's really hard to even get monetized on there. So that's the one number one thing that I wanted to do. But then as I got, um like a girlfriend and started actually wanting to live life and not stop wanting to stay at home all day, like I wanted to start making money, like then I started, I need to get a job. So like I kind of lost track on my YouTube grind, which that's still my number one thing. So yeah, it would be that for sure.
Okay. Yeah. How was it growing up for you?
What was that?
How was it growing up? Like, where did you grow up?
So I grew up in Leesure. I grew up in Leesure, Minnesota. So I was born here in Minnesota. I've been here all my life, and I went to middle school and high school in Texas. So I would say growing up, man, it was the best. You know, my parents always provided everything for us that they could. So um, all I really got to focus on was like being happy and like friends, family, things like that. So like growing up, it was great. I feel like I lived a lot of my life growing up, like being in this chair now, I could think about those times and be like, I'm thankful I at least had those times and like got to live those moments, fully able body, things like that. I know how it feels. Like I'm just thankful for that. So like
Yeah.
growing up, it was great.
Okay. So you're pretty close with your family.
Yeah, I would say
Like
family's a big part of my life for sure, dude.
a lot of friends.
Yep.
So
Well, see, that's the thing, man. Before my injury, yeah, lots of friends. Now there's only, a certain few. But yeah, the ones that are still around for sure.
yeah. If you had a crystal ball that could tell you the truth about your future, what would you ask it?
Mm. am I gonna struggle? Like, you know what I
Like,
mean?
yeah, like how life would turn out, maybe.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Like,
I
how's my
always
life gonna turn out without my parents? To be honest, like, cause like right now, dude, like, I have a full life because my parents. You know, they help me with everything. You know, and I know how you know how it is. You know, finding like caretakers, providers. Sometimes you need to go through a lot before you find the right one. I was thankful enough to always have my parents. They've always had my back, so I never had to really like find that. So yeah, I wanna like I would like to see that if I had a crystal ball for sure, dude. Because without my parents, I don't know how my life would be.
Yeah, have you ever lived independently?
Yeah, so I did live independently for a while, dude. So I lived independently for at least like 8 months, but it got really expensive, and I didn't have a job then. You know, so my parents had to help me start paying for that. I really started messing with them, so like it was just cheaper to end up moving back with them. You know.
No, it could be definitely difficult in our situation, especially if you don't have that support system, you know.
Exactly, man. But yeah, I loved living alone. It was great.
No, it's way better than anything else, man.
I
Uh,
know, man.
what's your diet like?
Oh, dude. You see, like I know you're really big on like, eating healthy and like
So
staying
much.
fit, all that.
Mhm.
Staying away from all that processed food. But me, dude, like I work here all day. There's a Subway right across the street and an Arby's and a gas station. So like I eat Subway like pretty much every day, dude.
Where is that your favorite restaurant? Is
What?
that your favorite restaurant?
Well, I mean, it's the best between like Arby's and what's close by here at work. You know, I'm here all day, so like that's the closest I go in my chair. So
Where?
yeah, so it's a lot. It's accessible, but I like it a lot too. It's expensive though.
Yeah. If you were on death row, what would your last meal be?
Damn, that's hard. Okay, well, for sure I'll have a chili with some cornbread.
All
It's my
right.
last meal, so that's not the only thing I'm gonna be having. You know what I mean? So I'll have chili with cornbread, and I'll have probably what am I thinking of right now?
Man,
Oh,
you just gotta get everything, you know?
I'll get everything, man. But like chili and cornbread, that's my go-to meal. I love that. I love that stuff.
Yeah. You have a wait. So who would be the last person you talk to on death row, maybe?
My mom for sure, bro.
Okay. Yeah.
I know it should be my wife, but my mom.
How was school growing up?
School, dude. I played a lot of sports growing up. So I played all through middle school and high school. I played football. I played basketball. So I was really athletic, and I was really involved with like the athletic community. So I did a lot of that. But then like towards the end to like graduation and stuff like that, I got into like not really focused into school and just started messing around a lot more. But I would say school was really good.
Yeah. Do you have any pets or anything?
Pets. So I did have one pet, Bear, and I also had another dog, Trixie, but they both passed away a
Oh
couple
man,
years ago.
sorry to hear that, man. But
Yeah,
dogs can be the best companion, you know.
your best friend, man, for real.
Yeah.
Bear, see, I was when I first started my YouTube channel, man, I was living out in the country, right? So like that's when I didn't have like a job, and I had just like totaled my van, so I couldn't move around anywhere. So like I was stuck at home 24/7, especially out in the country. There's nothing but dirt roads. You know what I mean? And there's nothing. Like here in town, I get off work, I cruise home in my chair, uh, to my house. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
over there, I couldn't really do nothing. The only thing that got me through it was my dog Bear. So yeah, dogs can help a lot. They're the best companions, man.
Yeah. Who's been the biggest influence on your life?
Um, Biggest influence I would say would be my parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely like to look up to people to motivate me and keep me inspired and stuff. I like to be constantly, filling my mind with positive and encouraging content. So I watch a lot of like Fresh and Fit. Guys that
I mess with
promote,
Fresh and Fit.
yeah, 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 just guys that promote like healthy masculinity, but like you know inspire you to become the best man that you can be, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Um, to be honest, yeah, like they really helped me out a lot too. Not even gonna lie, that podcast, makes you realize what being a man really is.
Yeah.
And it you can lose that with being in a wheelchair. You can lose that masculinity. That's why I said confidence is key, and you gotta keep going no matter what.
No, absolutely. Who do you think? Well, what do you think about politics? Like the Trump and Harris recent election.
So politics, I don't really get into politics. I don't really mess with politics. I mean, at the end of the day, people are gonna want who they want, and it's always gonna be a debate with something. So like, I don't really get into it. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
you're neither left or right. You're kind of just whatever.
Exactly, man. That's what I am.
Okay. We talked about God, and the role that faith and spirituality plays in our life. Do you believe in zodiac signs?
No, I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not big into zodiac signs either. I feel like they're very general. Um, yeah, but it's one of those things like, it says I'm an Aries and then that I'm talkative or I like, to go look, I like to be outside. Like, it's real general. So
Right.
it doesn't make much sense, honestly, but a lot of people swear by it. So
I know, dude, and that's a huge thing nowadays, especially nowadays.
what do you think the biggest problem is with our society?
Social media, dude.
Social media?
Man, yeah, social media. I mean, it makes people not appreciate their lives. It makes people live lives through other people and makes people want other things, when everyone should be happy with the life they have. Society didn't have that outlook on life on always being, like on your phone looking at the next thing. So like that's why sometimes I like to promote on my channel when I don't have my good days either. You know what I mean? I like to promote that too because it's not always positivity. You know what I mean? It is, but because you got to make it that way. But dude, it's hard to stay positive sometimes too. So I think that's a big issue right now.
No, absolutely. I think both of us are like make like real authentic content, displaying the good and the bad of our lives. So I think that's really important for people to see out there.
Exactly.
Especially in our situation, it definitely I'm sure it inspires a lot of people. Uh, what do you think about society? Like, as in, are we more connected or disconnected now?
Oh, dude, we're definitely more connected because of our phones.
Okay.
That's how we know what's going on in the world. A lot of people, a lot of us, that's how we all stay connected. Is through the phones. So I would
Yeah.
say we're more connected now, for sure.
Yeah. We couldn't even be doing this without technology. You know what I mean?
Exactly, man. You wouldn't even know each other.
Exactly.
That's what I mean. Like, think about it, man. Like back in the 1800s, where they literally put disabled people in mental hospitals and like thinking they were crazy because they couldn't walk. You know what I mean? So like, we've definitely come a long way with technology, man. Like, I'm really grateful that I'm not in one of those 1800s wooden chairs sitting there all day. You know what I mean?
Nah, the
So
pressure
like.
been nasty back then.
Oh man, I'm so thankful for my. You have the same standing wheelchair, so like
Yeah.
look at that. We can even stand up, dude. Like that's how far we've come. You know what I mean? So like I'm definitely grateful for technology.
Oh no, definitely. For our situation, it's helping out a lot. I think in the future we're gonna be, just able to get into a robot and it'll walk us, or
Oh hell yeah, man.
we'll have a robot to do everything for us or something.
You see, that's what I want for sure, dude. Like if we had a robot as caregiver, dude, we could live on our own for sure, dude.
Absolutely.
Transfers, all that, dude. Like I feel like it will be like that one day for sure.
Oh, it's coming. Elon Musk is working on it, bro.
Oh, I
What
know.
What are your thoughts on drugs? Have you tried alcohol, weed, cigarette, shrooms, anything like that?
So like I said, I mean, I've tried a lot of drugs to be honest, like being in high school, going to parties, like that's who I was, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't consider myself like the popular kid, but I knew a lot of people and like I said, I had a lot of friends, I guess. So like I always like experience with like alcohol or like, weed, you know, shrooms, you know, hallucinogenics, all that stuff, So but like me, I feel like I got off all my medications after my injury, just strictly smoking marijuana every day. And there's edibles. There's not always just smoking. So like I feel like it helps a lot, especially with my spasms. I know you've seen my videos and how bad they can get.
Mm.
But yeah, I feel like alcohol I don't really drink much anymore. I here and there, yeah, I'll like here have a drink, but like ever since my injury, I don't really I respect it and I know what it can do. I know what alcohol can do. Unlike weed, to me, it's not really mind altering. It just like affects my body and like my like it calms me down. But
No,
and
weed is a miracle after this injury. Like it does wonders now for
yeah,
me. Of course, anything can be abused, so you got to treat it, with respect and diligence, obviously. But
exactly.
if you have spasms, oh man, it's just a life changer.
It is, man. I'll tell you, it really does help a lot.
All right, man. We're gonna, I've been keeping you here for a while, and I feel like we're having a good conversation. I'm curious about your relationship with your fiance. What's some keys to a successful relationship, you think?
So keys to a successful relationship for sure is like communication. You know what I mean? And like little white lies, they're not worth it. Um, even even if it's gonna make an argument, talk through it. So communication is the number one thing. The way you're feeling, you gotta express and let them know how you're feeling, cause or else it can die real quick.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the number one thing.
Okay, cool. These days, like, how are you meeting people normally? Like online or in person? Or do you go out to the club or?
I mean, so I met a lot of friends like online. Like nowadays, I have a lot. Like you, you're one of my friends now. I consider a friend. You're in a wheelchair. We have similar, um, lifestyle. So I met you. You've helped me a lot through my injury too. Like I said, I watched a lot of your videos, and I say that's how I really meet people nowadays. It's like online.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about social media. You think dating sites are a good thing, or you ever found someone on a dating app? Because I'm right now I'm in this situation where I'm kind of a bachelor, and I'm kind of in between relationships, and just kind of exploring my options. So
Well, see, I know you know what a high value man is, right?
right,
So
right.
I would consider yourself one, dude. You're young, you're handsome. You don't have any kids yet. You got your priorities straight. So like for you, um, all I could say is like, dude, you know what I mean. I know you got the confidence, you got the swag, you got everything right now. All I could say right now for you is like the best love comes, dude, is when you least expect it. When you're not looking for it, that's when it comes. I mean, that's how me and my girl like we've been in each other's life for a while, and we never even thought about dating. But now, like, um, look at us. You know what I mean? Like, we ended up talking. We ended up getting to know each other. So like, it all happened out of nowhere. So for you, I would say if you want to put yourself out there, dating apps, yeah, put a good profile, but like, don't settle. That's all I could say for you right now, because you got a good thing going on, and um, for you, I would say um you have the best chances going up to someone, man. Just being, your attitude, your positivity, going up to a girl, I swear. So like you, I feel like you got no problem. All I can say for you is don't settle and keep spitting game. You know what I mean? There's gonna be a lot of fails before there's the right one. That's all I can say.
All right. Noted. Noted.
And
How is what?
as for the dating online, keep doing that too. You can find the right one there too.
Okay.
Just make sure they're not too far.
All right. All right. How would you describe yourself to someone, or like how would someone describe you? You think?
I would say positive attitude, and good vibes. Like that's what I like to portray. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Do you work out?
No. I started working out for a little bit in the beginning. So like I guess the most working out I do is like standing up every day.
Okay.
That's like the most workout I get. Um, but yeah,
And
I don't really work
that's
out.
so important too, getting that pressure through the legs and making sure your bones are strong.
I do think that's really important, man, for sure. Yeah.
Do you have any piercings, tattoos, anything like that?
Yeah, so I got my ears pierced. I got like 4 tattoos. I got a tattoo on my chest, and then I got my wheelchair one here. I got one on my arm that I did when I was young and stupid. So, but what else? That's it.
Okay. Uh, what do you think about OnlyFans and things like that these days? Do you feel like that's bad for society?
Dude, yeah, I feel like it's really bad for a lot of men. You know what I mean? It could really be it can make a lot of men portray
I feel like a lot of men
how.
are simping, they're just giving women un validated money and time and attention, and they're not getting anything back, they're kind of just wasting their time. So
Exactly, man.
I try to stay away from that, as well as like following, thirst traps on Instagram and stuff like that,
Me
because
too, dude. Yeah.
it's such a distraction.
And you know what? It really is because getting lured to that, dude. It's like a disease, man. You know, a lot of people can get addicted to that, and it's not a fun addiction to be in. So like, I feel like a lot of women nowadays, that's their number one thing to go to, and I feel like it's like the majority of women now are doing that. You know, and it's hard to get away from.
Yeah, no, it's getting bad out there.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, today it's been a great episode, bro. I hope to have you back on.
Oh
Uh,
heck yeah, man.
can you give a quote for the people? Something inspiring or a quote for them to take home?
Yeah, I can give a great quote right now, and it's broken crayons still color. So no matter your disability, there's a lot of mental disabilities. You know, just because there's a little flaw with you doesn't mean that you still can't brighten someone's day or still be bright, or be somebody. You know what I mean? So broken crayons still color. That's one of my favorites.
Absolutely. I love that, bro. Let's see. Shout out your social media: MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat.
Oh, dude, I miss MySpace for sure. But yeah, I got my Instagram. That's Mercado Strong. You can follow me on there. And my YouTube channel is Ricky's Life on Wheels. Facebook is just Ricky Mercado. I don't really follow a lot of people back on there. It's just like I'm friends and family on Facebook. But yeah, social media, YouTube is Ricky's Life on Wheels. Instagram, Mercado Strong.
Nice, man. That was a great episode, bro. That wraps up today's episode of the Stormcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode with
Oh yeah, I
Ricky.
did, man.
It's always a pleasure to hear from someone and that has such an amazing story and unique outlook on life. Thank you to Ricky again for being so open with us today. If you enjoyed this and want to hear more, be sure to like, make sure you follow and subscribe to both of us. His description and all his accounts are going to be in the description of this video. And of course, as always, subscribe, stay stormy, and we'll catch you in the next one. Appreciate it. See you, folks.
Peace.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate Ricky. That was a wild one, guys. I'm glad to hear, I'm here for it. I'm glad to hear from someone like that who truly inspires me and who puts out, such inspirational and, good content to the world. So it's always good to, come together and meet up and talk and share ideas. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Coming up, we've got more crazy episodes, more special guests, and more deep dives into the stuff that matters. If you want to support, we're building here. As always, the Stormcast is available everywhere podcasts stream. Drop a 5-star review on Spotify. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter and Rumble. And if you're really about it, support us on Patreon. Every donation helps us upgrade gear, expand the show, and keep the conversations raw and real. Oh, and yeah, remember, guys, my Snapchat's gone. It's been deleted. So I won't be on there much until I make another one. So stay tuned for the next account that I make. Go ahead and comment your thoughts on today's episode. Do you agree, disagree with any of the topics we talked about today? Does it not matter? Let me know. What do you think about today's episode? This has been the Stormcast. Stay blessed, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye, everybody.